name is Danika. I am a 17-year-old senior in high school, and this is my self-introduction speech. So from the very beginning, when I was born in Grand Island, Nebraska, the Lord has provided for my every basic need. I've had the huge privilege of being raised in a Christian home with my parents, 2 sisters, and 3 cats. I've had a great education, a roof over my head, and food on the table for my whole life. Not only has the Lord given me all of this, though, He's also provided for me unique experiences and opportunities that have shaped me into the person I am today. Truly, it would be impossible to try to number all the different ways that the Lord has been gracious to me, but I have thought of 3 major experiences that really represent different aspects of my life that I value the most. So the first of these experiences lasted for about 4 years, actually. I was in this competitive program called JBQ. So JBQ stands for Junior Bible Quiz, and it was basically just that. It was a bunch of middle school students who would learn Bible verses, memorize Bible verses, and compete based off of who knew the information best and who knew it the quickest. It was really an amazing program, and I learned so much through it. But one of the most important things I think that resulted from that was I learned how to socialize and how to make friends. As a homeschooler, this was really one of the biggest outlets I had to make friends and to learn how to approach people like that. Of course, it gave me the opportunity to become really close with my teammates, but it also helped me get to know my competitors, people whom I was competing against, and I learned how I could also be friends with them. And to this day, I'm still friends with people that I met back in those JBQ days. Obviously, in addition to learning how to make friends, I learned a lot of information. I still remember a lot of the things that I was quizzing over for those 4 years. And not only do I remember that information, but it has provided for me a foundational base of knowledge upon which I now add more and more knowledge to. So learning JBQ really helped me discover the interest I had in knowledge, and more specifically in theology. I actually really love to learn a lot about theology, so that really helped me discover that, and it really kindled this interest, and I'm now able to learn so much more because of those 4 years of foundational knowledge that I learned. So the second experience that I had that really shaped me into who I am was my trip to Peru in 2016. So my parents are both Peruvian, and we went to Peru to go visit all of my relatives. Now, of course, I have had this idea of who my relatives are just based off of stories or off of phone calls, but I did not really have an individual or personal connection or relationship with them. So being able to go there and to meet them and to make memories and to share experiences, it really helped me be able to put a personality to each of those names I had grown up hearing for so long. Another really important thing that I learned whilst in my trip in Peru was the Peruvian culture. So little did I know that as my parents were raising me, they were really integrating in our family this Peruvian culture. I always kind of assumed it was like a family thing or maybe just my parents' personality. But when I went to Peru, I really noticed that it was a nationwide culture that they had preserved through us even when we were in the middle of Nebraska in the United States. So it really helped me appreciate the Peruvian culture and how it works throughout a whole country. And it really made me more grateful to my parents for preserving that culture in our family. The third experience that has happened most recently has really developed this interest of mine that I have had for a long time. So for a little bit of background, as I mentioned, I was born in Nebraska, and that's where I lived for 15 years of my life. Just recently, almost around 2 years ago, my parents and I moved, my whole family, cats included, we all moved to Kentucky because my dad started working for Answers in Genesis. So if that name kind of rings a bell, they were the company, the ministry that made the whole ark, the real life Noah's Ark, and they also have the Creation Museum. So my dad started working for that company, and upon us moving here, I discovered that both of the museums, the Ark Encounter and the Creation Museum, both had zoos in them, and that immediately became my goal, was to one day work at those zoos. And that goal actually became a reality a lot sooner than I thought it would. About 6 months ago, I started working at the zoo and the Creation Museum, and it has been a wonderful experience where I have gotten to learn so much about multiple things, specifically interaction with people, and then obviously working with animals. So talking about the interaction with people, it really has taught me to be patient with them and to be kind and to really demonstrate this godliness to each and every person, and to not tire. Because for when you're working in the zoo for 8 hours a day, you will oftentimes need to answer a question, no exaggeration, a couple hundred times a day. And you need to have the same energy and willingness to answer the question every single time. And that has really been a great lesson to me, and I know I've benefited a lot from having to do that every single day. Obviously, the other side of working at a zoo, it would be working with the animals, and I've gotten so much experience, even on the medical side of things, to working with animals, which has really greatly helped me, because I would like to be a veterinarian when I'm older. That has always been my dream, was to be a veterinarian. So that's why I wanted to work so much with animals since I was really, really little. So it has really been an amazing, amazing blessing that the Lord has given me to be able to work with animals this early on in my life. So those are the 3 main things about my life that I really value the most, and I thank God for having given me this opportunity to share this. And yeah, I thank you so much.